Well, hello everybody. This is Scott Roberts with Explore Scientific, and we are here on the other side of my office, and we have Jerry Hubbles, of course, with us, and we've got down underneath me here, we've got Cartusil set up controlling the FCD100 ED102 telescope that you see, and Today what we did is we set up the QHY163C camera, and so maybe I'll let Jerry take over right now. He is connected to this scope from Virginia, so the way the configuration is we're using Zoom with all the audio turned off, okay? And then we have...
And the video.
Yeah, and the video. And then Jerry's on with video on Skype. So this is probably very similar to how, if you were going to control the telescope, this is how we would set you up so that you could be connected. So there's, and then I would use also Zoom to set up for broadcast. So it's a little bit more complicated configuration, but you know, it's been fun. We keep layering on more complexity and stuff just to see if we can do it, you know. So
yeah, we got a couple of good configurations going. Last week we had one that was a on-the-fly configuration also that we got to work.
Guys, if you had seen me, I mean, I was like scrambling. Really, the last 10 minutes before broadcast time, I was moving my desk over here, plugging things in, slapping things together, and we still somehow pulled it off. I don't think I plugged in the DB9 connector correctly, and so that was part of my rush. And you know, that was
yeah, that's when we changed the cable out, thinking the cable was bad.
Right, that's right. Mm-hmm. So we changed out the box. Have found out that actually through subsequent testing the box is okay. So you know, I may go back to the old box just to double test that, but that's where we're at. So, but it's great to see you guys. Hope you had a good weekend. Let's see who's on with us here. We got Richard Grace, Jenny Bedell Shelley. It's been a while, so it's great to have you back. Wolfgang, you're here with us. Tim Myers. Marco Pola, hello. I picked up a Meade 8-inch SCT over the weekend and put it on my Exos 2. All right, ready for Mars. That's great. Jim Norwood's with us. Dusky Haskins. Let's see, Chuck Lewis, Dale Beasley, Tim Myers. Let's see, who else? Michael Whitaker, yeah. Wade Prunty. And David Ing. So guys look promising for tomorrow. That's great news. I mean, you know, we were really, it was a nail-biting thing to watch Mount Wilson get fires licking up towards the mountains. So still don't know whether or not they got through that unscathed or not. I'll find out later, maybe today, what's going on. I've kind of hesitated from like jumping in and calling my friends at Mount Wilson because if something was real, you know, had happened or they had damage, you know, they certainly don't want to hear somebody just kind of jumping in to find out what the heck happened, you know. So even as anxious as I am. Adrian Newland has joined us. Greetings from the High Desert Astronomical Society. Now, Adrian, you guys is this the High Desert group from California? Just kind of curious. Anyhow, But I'm gonna let Jerry take over here. Let's see. Let me configure this so it's just the screen and Jerry. Let me get me out of here. Okay, screen and Jerry. And how about we'll pull up the. There we go.
Scope too, yeah.
So we got the scope.
So the first thing I want to do is just show
There you
where
go.
we left off last week. We'd finally got the configuration done where we had exposed the card to seal connected to the ASCOM driver through the POTH, and we were able to demonstrate the slewing action using POTH. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that again right now. I'm going to slew to a star near the pole because we don't want to hit Scott's table. So I'm
Why
going to pick a
not
star right here.
drag everything off? So while we were setting up, actually, at this 4 square thing I've got set up here has more screen real estate, so we're going to do that. But we were setting up earlier, and Jerry was loading some software, and the power plug just like popped out.
Right,
Oh
yeah,
man, I
in the
was like,
middle of the download.
no. Pretty, yeah. Had I been actually imaging or something and have the power plug pop out, that would have really, really made it very unfun. So I don't know if you can see it, but right here I have tape holding on the power plug onto its adapter. So. And you are muted, Jerry.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I could see your lips moving. I thought, well, he must be talking.
So I'm going to center on this star here, and I'm going to slew to it. So watch the scope move, as he says when it dies. I'm parked. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So now I'm not parked, and I'm going to turn tracking on. And now I'm going to try and slew again.
There we go.
And there it goes. And you can see the white circles are where the scope is pointing at currently, and the red is the target. Actually, the red is the center of the chart. So you can center the chart on any target, and it will drive it. So let me go further. I'm going to go further east and show you. Let's go over here to this star. Pi Hercules. We'll center on that. And then I'll slew again. And there you go.
There you go.
So that's all working. So we'll just leave it there tracking for a while. I'm going to go ahead and bring up. So now the next thing we want to do is set up the camera. And we got that pretty much figured out earlier with this is a QHY 163C camera. So we have to go to their website. And get their driver. Now the nice thing about them, they have all in one system pack, which is all their cameras use the same driver download. So any camera you have of theirs, it's the same download, and we'll get the stable version. All right, so you'll click on that, and I'm going to cancel that since we already did that, and go to the downloads page. And
there you go.
This is the driver right here, all in one.
I think I have to do this.
Yeah, you have to do some things for me now since
right.
Zoom doesn't allow me to take control.
There we go.
All right, so hit next. I guess I can't do it. You're gonna have to do it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna cancel it right before. So you choose your options. What we chose was the drivers and the EasyCap, and for some reason EasyCap didn't work for us on here.
Have to figure out.
We went back to another program, which we'll talk about in a minute. So go ahead and hit next.
With everything unchecked, right?
Yeah, that's right. We'll see what it does here, and then install, and it says preparing. I guess it still installs some things. We'll see what it does here. Oh, you know what? Well, let's see. Yeah, if you want to see the SDK folder, you can leave this checked, but uncheck that and then hit finish.
Okay.
All right. So now you've installed the driver. We had to reboot the system. That's what you want to do. To be safe is to reboot everything. And then, like I said, we tried to run EasyCap before and it didn't work. So instead we went and got SharpCap. All right, which go back. It's got its own website, sharpcap.co.uk.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people use this program. It works really well. So we got through and installed that.
Including Gary Palmer.
Yeah. So you go to the downloads page and there's a button here that says download version 3.286, and you'll go through and do that and run the install. I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to demonstrate. So see if it works here. We'll bring up SharpCap.
Jenny is commenting. She says, if you are installing a new QHY camera for the camera cannot be connected when you install the drivers. Oh, she says, I meant to say, if it is the first time the camera cannot be connected. If it is the first time the camera cannot be connected.
I think what she's referring to is it's better to load the drivers on or to install the drivers and reboot your system, and then at that point the drivers are primed to detect your camera when you plug it in the first time.
Got it. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if we did it that way.
No, we didn't, but that's all right. I mean, you can work your way out of it like we did.
Right.
So now, once the drivers are loaded, you can see that the camera shows up in SharpCap, and there it is. So if you wave your hand in front of the camera, okay, in front of the scope, you can demonstrate that this is a live view.
All right. Let's.
Yep. There you have it. So camera installation is pretty straightforward compared to the other systems. The mount control system definitely it takes a little bit more work, but now Scott's ready to go take pictures with his mount and control it and point it where he needs to.
Right.
So the next thing I think we talked about, which we haven't tested yet, is the driver for the focuser.
I have an electric focuser. I also have a QHY auto guider mounted on top of the ED80, so it probably.
So is that auto guider plugged into the
auto
computer?
Guider, yeah, plugged into the PMC-Eight back there.
Okay, so we want to use PhD2 as the auto guiding system. So let's go get that.
Okay.
All right, and that's got a standalone website. It's open source now.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's openphdguiding.org. All right. So the download.
Oh, there's even a Mac version. That's cool.
Yeah, there's a Mac version.
Yep.
And there's a Linux version also that runs on Linux platforms. I don't know if it's somewhere. I know it's available. I don't know where the link is for it. Let's go ahead and download that. And it shouldn't take that long.
Okay.
Are there any questions yet on the forum or on the audience?
Let's see. Jenny says the QHY camera drivers tend to be a bit ornery. Jim Norwood says, is that a dust bunny on Scott's ceiling? Well,
Oh, is he? The camera showing something?
I don't know.
I don't think it's focused, so I don't know how it would show anything.
Yeah, it's no way it's focused. Chuck's
right. So I've got.
Yep. Okay, so we got it downloaded, right?
Yeah. So I'm trying to click on this.
All right.
And it's probably bringing up something.
Yeah. Do I want to allow this app from an unknown publisher to make changes to my device? Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. Welcome to the setup. Let's see if I can do anything here.
You want to try? Okay.
I'm clicking on it. It's not letting me. You're going to have to do the install.
All right. Here we go.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Extracting files.
That's really pretty quick. You can unclick the README unless you're interested in looking at it. Typically, you know, I talk about customers not wanting to read stuff. And
I am one of those customers. I am.
Yeah.
Welcome to the First Light Wizard.
Okay, what this is going to do is it's going to ask you different things to set up your equipment, your camera, and your mount and everything. So let's go ahead and go through this and see what it looks like.
See what happens. See if
so I'm going to hit next. I typically like to set up things manually, but that's fine. Let's see if it will find it. So we're looking for a QHY camera.
Yeah.
And these are the ASCOM drivers.
Okay.
Right. So I'm tempted to use the ASCOM driver.
Go for it.
Let's just hit the native driver and see what this is. If the camera already connected to the PC, if so, can usually determine the camera pixel. But we've got two cameras plugged in, right?
Yeah. So there's a camera. Well, there's just a camera plugged into the PMC-Eight box.
What? What did you say?
I plugged in the.
You mean the NUC? You mean the NUC?
No, not the NUC.
What do you mean it's plugged into the You mean the ST4 guide port?
Yeah.
Okay. That's from the QHY camera that's on the auto guiding scope, right?
Yes.
All right, so but you've got the QHY auto guiding camera and the QHY main camera plugged into the NUC, is that right?
No.
Oh, okay.
I do not.
Do you have a cable? You don't have another cable coming out of the QHY5 camera that you've got on the auto guider scope?
I do not. We may have to do this next time.
So yeah, so we need a cable, a USB cable that goes from that camera down to the NUC, just like the main camera has.
Let me just double check and see if I have that cable handy.
Okay. It's going to be the same kind of cable that's in the other camera.
I do not. Oh, hold on. What's this? Ah, looks like I do. All right. So now, let's plug that in. Here it goes. And I'm going to plug this into my USB hub. Okay.
Oh, so you got the powered USB hub I suggested
to
hook up to your NUC? That's good.
It's just a USB hub. I don't think it's powered.
Okay. Yeah. So what I'm going to do first. Oh, you didn't buy a powered one. It's just a regular old.
It's an old one.
Okay.
One more
Okay.
equipment I need to get. So
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is first of all, I'm going to go to SharpCap again, and I'm going to go to cameras and see if it picked up that camera. And lo and behold, there it is. See that?
got it.
QHY511. So both cameras are available. So I'm going to go ahead and connect to that camera, and we'll see if it works. Oh, move your hand in front of it. It looks like it's working.
Yes, it's working.
Yep. Good. All right.
Okay.
Cool. So now I'm gonna go back to the main camera because we're gonna use PhD to connect to the guide camera.
Okay.
So I just changed that. So now I'm gonna click on QHY again. Yes, it's connected.
Okay.
And it says usually PhD guiding picks up the camera. So we'll see. I wonder if I should let me do this real quick just to see something. I want to see what the ASCOM driver does here.
Okay.
Usually determine the camera pixel size automatically. Okay.
Could not connect the camera, so you may want to deal with that later. Meantime, you,
Okay.
okay.
All right. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just go ahead and go back to the native driver.
Okay.
We have to probably do some setup work on the ASCOM driver.
Okay.
Let's go to next. I can't. It's not letting
Oh,
me
you
do
can't. All right.
it.
God, it's so limiting.
I don't know what. I know. I don't know why
There we
this thing
go.
doesn't like. Just click.
Select your
Did it not move?
camera. Yeah, it looks like it's not doing anything.
Hit next.
I'm hitting.
Yeah, it's hit next. It's not. That's wild. All right. So it popped up this window here. I don't know what this is doing here. All right, let's close this down and start it again.
Okay.
If all else fails, start over.
Well, it may want us to completely restart the computer too.
Maybe, but it would have asked us to do that, I think. So I'm gonna go back through here and find PhD guiding. And what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna not use the wizard. I'm gonna close the wizard.
What these guys are talking about here.
All right, so I'm gonna go to setup wizard. No, I don't want the setup wizard. All right, so camera. So let's see if this found the camera. QHY.
Directions, lots of laughs. No reason to use the ST4 port. Seen
That's right.
one guy thermite an ST4 cable.
Oh yeah.
God, I wouldn't use the ST4 cable unless you have to.
Yeah, that's standard suggestions from us.
Yeah. Chalks, what are you using for live stacking? Let's see, Rich. I saw a video from Dylan lighting up an ST4 cable. He literally set it on fire. Pretty funny. Gary Palmer, some cameras can't be seen by SharpCap and ASCOM through USB hubs. Really?
All right, so see this little checkbox is something. If you've got more than one camera,
Mm-hmm.
you can bring this up and it'll ask you which camera you want to use.
Oh, I see.
So it was selected the QHY163. I moved it down to the QHY5 camera.
Got it. Okay.
And then we can connect to it.
Let's see if our USB hub works.
And I'll be able to do a test here in a minute and show you that PhD2 is connected to the mount. So now, let's go to the mount setup. Okay, so this brings up the standard chooser stuff for the mount because I'm connected to the hub, to the POTH hub actually, and hit OK. And this is interesting. Auxiliary mount, we don't have, I guess it's, I'm trying to see where we select. I think it's down here. Let's close this now. Well, why did it close everything?
Gary thinks I need to be connected directly to the PC. I do have one more USB port available.
We're already connected directly to the PC, right?
I have a USB hub connecting the auto guide.
Oh, yeah, maybe. It depends on the speed of the camera, of course. He's right. Oh, why PSD went away on me.
Okay, so what?
So if we were going to use the, this is what I wanted to show. If we were going to use the ST4 cable, like you have it plugged, you got it plugged in right now, right?
The ST4? No.
Oh, you don't.
I
So
put
if
that
you
on
did, we
fire
don't have to.
if you like.
No, we don't have to. But the way you would use it is you select on camera.
Got it.
Okay, on camera means you're going to use the on camera relay output that's tied directly into the PMC-Eight input. And then you'd have to choose your mount here as auxiliary mount to get the mount information into PhD2.
Yeah.
Like this.
Jenny's.
Okay, then you would connect.
Yeah. USB powered hub. So that's next on my shopping
Right,
list here.
right. So I'm going to disconnect. I'm going to go back to the standard pulse guiding configuration,
Okay.
which is directly connected to the ASCOM driver. So that's what this does. So when we connect to that, it will use pulse guiding. So right now we're connected to the camera and the mount, and we're going to control it through pulse guiding. So now, what I did last time is I hit close here, and it shut the whole program down, and I don't know why.
Okay.
Let me see. What I'm going to do also, will this let me, oh, it probably lets you. I was going to save this profile for you, but that's okay. We can do that later.
We'll do.
So I'm going to close this,
Sure.
and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
I should be connected.
All right.
All right, so it didn't bomb out. That's good. Guiding parameters have been reset because of the bending or pixel size change. Okay, that's fine. All right, so now to go back and review what you set, you can hit this button here.
Okay.
And it'll tell you. And then I'm not sure which camera. Let's see what camera would, I think. Oh, it says down at the bottom one, so let me click that real quick. Oh, it's up at the top. Let's go back and select that again. So now I'm on the QHY5. I'm going to connect to the QHY5 and then hit close. All right, there. Now, since we're not outside under the stars, we can't really do much more.
Right.
But what I can show you is this tool. And what I'm going to do is bring up a manual guiding control. All right, manual guide. So this is just like the old-fashioned guiding like we talked about earlier today, Scott.
Okay.
Where you want to use an eyepiece.
Right.
And you can look through your scope and you can push north, south, east, and west, and it will transmit those commands through the USB cable into the mount. So I'm gonna minimize this. So what I want to do, I'm going to try to show this. I'm going to zoom up a lot on here. I'm gonna track the telescope. Okay, so this is where the telescope's pointed at right now. Okay. So I think I can do these pulses. See what move. I don't want to
Grace
do that.
runs mount control and 2 cams through a 4-way unpowered USB 3 hub into a 65-foot powered cable.
Ah.
Wow.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send pulses into the mount.
Okay.
And we can watch the response of the mount on the path and also where it thinks the telescope pointed at on the chart.
All right, let me focus on just the screen with
yeah.
Okay, here we go.
All right, so what I've got configured, I've got the manual guide tool popped up on PhD2. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to manually send pulses into the mount. And the scaling, we can talk about the scaling. The default scaling is 40% of the sidereal rate, or 6 arc seconds per second, is what it's going to pulse at. So I'm going to pulse it for 1,000 milliseconds. So it should move the mount 6 arc seconds off of the target.
How big is that field?
So this is, well, so right now it's 17 arc minutes across. Okay, so watch, but you can see this change when on the edge of the box. See the box there?
Okay.
So I'm going to pulse it north. Okay, so just watch.
Oh yeah, I see it.
See it move?
Yep.
I'm going to go to the equatorial coordinate system because that's easier to look at. All right, so you see I moved the telescope north.
Mm-hmm. And that square is the field of the camera sensor?
That's right. That's
Okay.
the default setting on it right now. It's not the correct size, but that's what it's for.
I see.
So now I'm going to pulse it for 5 seconds. That's a little extreme. You wouldn't normally guide that long, but just to show you how much it moves. Okay, 5,000 milliseconds. I'm going to hit north again.
Oh yeah, it's a lot.
So that's 30 arc seconds.
Right.
5 times 6 is 30. So that moved 30 arc seconds. So now I'm going to go back south, and you'll see that it will come back to the line.
Mm-hmm.
Or back where it was before, I should say, because I did it 1 second before. So let me do it one more second. South, and then it should be back on the line. And there it is.
Yeah.
So let's do 5 seconds to the east. So remember, it's actually tracking at the same time, so it's going to bias the rate up to do this correction for 5 seconds. So it's going east.
Yeah.
East is in the future. That's why it went that direction. West, I'll come back to the west, and it should come back pretty much on the sky. I'm going to recenter the chart real quick. All right, so we're dead on right now, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to move it west again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to move it south. And I'm going to move it east. And I'm going to move it north. And it should come back to where it was.
Yep.
So you can see we got very precise control of this mount in terms of the guiding. And these are long guiding pulses. Typical guiding pulses are going to be 100 milliseconds or so.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is, 50 times smaller than what we're doing here.
Right.
So, but you got an exact, so now you know that the pulse guiding is working. That's how you can test it through PhD guiding. You'd see the same thing in your camera, right? If you did the same sequence, you'd draw a box and you would see the stars move in that box. In fact, one way you can test it manually is to start an exposure and move it that way, north, west, south, and east, and it will draw a little box for you with the star. So looks like we got PhD guiding set up and talking, at least as a starting point. We need to run through the calibration with a real star,
Right.
and then you would also tune up the configuration. That's what the advanced settings are for, is to tune up the different parts. So we have the camera. We want to we need to set up the camera settings. It looks like it detected that stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the correct size of the pixel. And then let's see what else there is. The guiding parameters. These are the ones. This is where you put the focal length of the guide camera. What is it? What is that?
Focal length of the guide. Oh, this?
It's a 80. Is it 80 millimeter?
180 millimeters of focal length.
480.
480.
Yeah. And then here. One thing we can do now is go to advanced and calculate the step size for the calibration process. All right, so it knows the camera. It knows see how it picked up the guide speed as 0.4? It read that from the driver, the PMC-Eight driver.
Okay.
And the pixel size, that's set by the program. Calibration steps is set by PhD2. So now what you can do is calculate it calculates the step size in milliseconds, how long it's going to pulse based on this data.
I see.
And you can hit OK. So that sets you up for the calibration.
So let me ask a question here, Jerry. If you're working with it and you take the default numbers or whatever that it's calculating, can I go back in there and adjust those to try to tweak it myself?
In terms of the calibration, you can tweak any of these numbers. Actually,
Okay.
So what it calculated was this value right here, the 750 milliseconds.
Right.
But you can put in, maybe you want it shorter. Maybe you want 600. So you can just type 600 in there.
Got it.
Or 500,
Right.
to tune the calibration up. Or maybe you don't want quite so many steps. So you go back here. You say, I don't need 12 steps to calibrate. I only want 8.
I see.
All right.
You
So then you can OK.
Okay.
And you see how it made the steps pulses longer because you made the steps less.
Got it.
Each step is the distance, basically, how far you're going to cover that 25 pixels. So the calibration is designed to move at 25 pixels across the image chip.
I see.
So it adjusts the timing depending on your focal length and your pixel size and how many steps you want to do. That's what it's doing. So let's go back to 12. Well, let's go to 15. Maybe you want 15. Hit OK. And now it's set it to 600. That gets you 15 steps across 25 pixels.
Okay.
So that's how that's working.
Okay.
The last thing is really where the tuning comes in. Is here on the algorithm.
All right.
There's right ascension tuning parameters and there's declination.
Wow, this is
Uh, you could start out with the defaults,
sure.
I think. And then you just want, when you want to tune this thing, you really want to only change one thing at a time to understand what it's doing.
That's right. Yeah, you don't want to click on backlash compensation and then
Right,
numbers.
right. You don't want to change modes back and forth.
Yeah,
And so you got all these different modes, and you can read about these modes in the control system.
right.
Same thing with the on the declination.
Really incredible control.
Yes,
You know,
yep.
so
Very sophisticated.
yeah,
So that's all there is to it.
excellent.
And then when you get started, you'll see how it works under the sky.
I'm anxious. I don't know if we'll be ready tomorrow for the global star party for it, but this week I will get it out and drift align it and get a little spot set up in the front of the Explore Scientific building and try for probably the next global star party, Tuesday from now. So, um,
You're gonna mark the spot on your tripod too, so you can bring
yeah,
it back to the same spot.
yeah, I'm going to mark spots down there. I'm going to have the tripod down as low as I can, so it's got a low center of gravity. Um, and I need to get a Wi-Fi repeater out front so that I can be connected with a strong signal. So
Yeah, that's a good idea.
yeah.
Uh, other
Andrew wants to
questions,
see a shot from the
comments?
parking lot of Explore Scientific. Yes. So we'll see how it goes. We are pretty light polluted here too, so I may have to end up getting some sort of narrowband filter at some point. Um, so we'll start off with some bright deep sky objects to begin with, and then start challenging ourselves by going deeper. So I also have a telescope drive master on order for this particular setup, and once I have that all set up, we can show how that all configures and how that works.
Right.
But this is a nice little setup. I think that even under some wind, it's still gonna perform. That's just a little 4 inch on that G11. So
The G11 is solid as a rock. I
yes,
mean,
it is.
it's solid.
Yes, it is.
It's like a pier. I mean, it's how, even with the legs extended at the start parties we were at, I remember taking that thing and trying to shake it, trying
And
to move it, and it doesn't.
it's really bulletproof, I think. So, all right. Well, that's great. So I think that why don't you go ahead and park it, Jerry, and
Yep, yep.
then
I'll
we'll.
park it so we can go to the carte de seal. I don't know why it does that. And the nice thing about carte de seal, the new version, it's got park a button and a tracking enable button, which it didn't have before, which is kind of surprising, but it's always good. So let me hit park.
Do you really want to park the mount now? Yes.
Yes, thank you.
It said that to us so sarcastically too.
Is it
Can we
is
make
it
that?
moving?
Can we get more nice language in those programs?
Is it moving?
Oh yeah,
I don't. It looks like this program got hung up.
nice.
Yeah, I see it. I see it on
Yeah.
the path moving. I don't know what carte de seal all of a sudden did on me. Oh, oh, it didn't update. I wonder why it did that.
Hmm.
So it went back. It didn't update the position until it was done slewing. That's really odd.
Hmm.
That's a that's a little bug in carte de seal, I think, because we saw the path updating every second.
Maybe it's not a bug, but just the way it works.
It's just the way it works. That's right. That's the way it works.
That's the way it works, Jerry.
I wanted to do something else here. I think that's it. All right, so you can also disconnect. I don't know why this error comes up.
Cannot focus a disabled or invisible window. Press OK to ignore and risk data corruption. Press abort.
The window it's talking about is this one.
Ah,
I don't know why I don't know why that bug's in there, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
okay.
So I'm going to disconnect
Yeah.
from the path. I'm going to close it, and then you can close it. You don't have to do that. You can. I don't want. I'm going to say no. I've got to set your defaults on that. What I suggest people when they use card to seal, just as a side tip, is that you want to turn off autosave. You want to set it up at the beginning of the session, any session, the way you want it to start up. And then you save that, and then you turn off the autosave, because then it'll come up every time the same way. Otherwise, it will come up different ways however you left it the last time you had it running, which is a little annoying. To me, it's annoying anyway. So
Yeah. So Wolfgang's asking how heavy is the G11. The thing that's kind of cool about the G11 that we sell, the way that we configure it is we have the RA spacer put into the G11. So if you look, I don't know if you can see this very well, but right here is a RA spacer, and this knob, and there's another knob on the other side. Those come loose, and then the mount splits. Okay, so you got two relatively lightweight pieces to deal with instead of a whole mount that you got to lift up there and put up on the tripod. Probably the heaviest part is that tripod, and I think that tripod's probably in the 30-pound range, something like that. The two pieces of the mount, probably in the, I don't know, 15-ish, something like that, 15 pounds. And then you've got a 21-pound counterweight. You have a counterweight rod, which probably weighs, I don't know, 8 pounds, something like that. And so very portable, very, not just transportable, but portable. This is something you could throw in the back of the car. You're going to have something that's really, really sturdy. And there's something I wanted to show you. I think I can show you through my door here. You guys can see a black tent back there. Jerry, I sent to you, I don't know if you can see it on your phone, but I sent you a photograph of this tent. And this is an observatory tent that we're offering. So let me see if I can get.
yeah, I was looking at your text messages earlier. I didn't see it. I'm looking for it now. I don't see it from you.
Yeah, okay. So let me walk out there. So they have some scale. Okay. So what we have here is where the telescope goes, and then there's another room mounted to it so that you can hook up your computers and all of that stuff. So
That's really cool. That's going to be cool to camp out in.
right, yeah, and it's going to be very affordable. It's a portable observatory, Tim. And it will, of course, you'd have like tent stakes that you would put in the ground, but you would also put like straps so that you go from the top and from the bottom, and you can nail this thing down. So, and Marco Polo that's really cool. Does it pop up? The answer is yes, it pops up. So the setup time is going to be really quick, just a few minutes. Stake it down. And what I didn't show you is the doors that, it's got roll-up doors so that you can unzip it, get inside. There's a pass-through door to go between the rooms. And we also give you a cover that covers the whole thing. Okay, so if it rains, you got tons of dew or something like that, then you can protect everything and you're good to go. So tear down super fast. You grab it, you twist it, and it all ends up being like a circle about, I don't know, 2.5, 3 feet wide, something like that. Stuff that into the car, and away you go. but this will keep the wind off of you. It'll keep the dust off your equipment. So
And stray light from the neighbors too.
stray light, you cannot, that it is blackout material. You cannot see through that. I was holding it right up to the light and trying to look through it, and you can't. It's perfect. So, if you want to have, Tim says, lots of laughs. Yes, merging ice fishing and astronomy. Yes, if you want to be out where it's super cold, I would probably throw down like a ground cloth of some sort, like some sort of tarp, and that would also prevent some of the dew situations, dirt situations, and just make it a lot more comfortable for you to do observing and astrophotography. But with the extra room, it's definitely designed for the astrophotographer. I think you could probably buy 2 of these things and hook them up, okay, so that you could run 2 telescopes, have 2 control rooms.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, so.
You have your big screen TV in there.
Yeah, right. That's right. Have your mini bar set up or what? I don't know. You don't have to have a mini bar, but anyhow, but it's going to be cool. And that is we've been playing around with prototypes of this, and this is the final version of it. And I think that probably be available before the end of the year. So we'll get the pricing out there to dealers and everything. I think it's around $249, something like that, retail for it, and basically gives you these 2 large rooms and a cover that covers the whole thing. So you got ropes for tying it down, and so it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, that sounds like a must-have.
Right. Could you run a portable heater inside of it? Joel, I don't know that I would run a portable heater inside of any tent. I would be a little freaked out about that. But you will have the wind off of you, and that will keep you warm. So, if you have hand warmers, feet warmers, and you're wearing a cap, you could probably be out in sub-zero weather and still be okay, so.
Yeah, like I did back 10 years ago, that picture you have of me when it's 20 degrees out at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
I like that.
I was out there for 6 and 8 hours, 8 hours at a time.
Oh my God.
You do get cold sitting still.
Yeah.
I mean, it's terrible.
Yeah, that's the
You
problem.
really have to walk around every 15 minutes.
That's true. But you could like run in place inside of there, and then no one could see you doing that.
Yeah.
Right? So.
That's right.
Yeah, but we would wear when we observed in near zero temperatures, we'd be out in the Anza-Borrego desert a lot, and it gets down to 15, 12 sometimes. Rarely not around zero, but still that's cold. We would have hand warmers and electric socks and a beanie. As long as you're keeping your extremes warm, you'll stay pretty warm. There's also
I would cheat. I would get in my car in the driveway. I'd get I'd get photograph run going, and I'd get in the car and start the engine up and turn the heater on.
Gosh darn it, Jerry! Yeah, so I hear you doing it. So. Somebody says they use a heated portable chair during the winter. Oh, that's cool. Never heard of a heated portable chair, but that's very cool.
Keep your backside warm.
Yeah. Well, cool. So that's something new that we wanted to show you. We wanted to give you an update on the Windows 10 OS network issue. So where are we at with that, Jerry, at this point?
So Wes and I are continuing to work this issue. If you're not familiar, we've identified an issue with the PMC-Eight Wi-Fi connection when and it just showed up in the more recent Windows updates. And let me, I'm trying to unshare my screen and share it again.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Stop sharing. I need to share my other screen.
Okay.
Oh, it doesn't have a. I guess.
Yeah,
I guess I'll just do my desktop.
we're not going to be on Zoom here, so I'm just going to stop
Okay.
and in that meeting. Okay.
All right, I see that the meeting ended. Okay, now.
Now you should,
So there's my desktop. Let's go to the browser. I don't know what window's going to pop up, but hopefully it's not. I've been looking at the chip here. So we put out this notice for Windows 10 users talking about this issue. I don't know if we showed this page last week or not. But basically what it is, the symptom is that you cannot obtain an IP address from the DHCP server. So it doesn't, even if it says it's connected, when you connect the SSID, it won't be connected. The IP address assigned is not correct. And we traced it down to the security settings in the Wi-Fi module. And we have a workaround. We got a couple of workarounds that we're working on to distribute, and we'll be sharing those soon, later on this week probably, at least as a beginning. Right now, the workaround is on this web page. And the way you get to this web page, again, let me go back. You go to support, and you go to the PMC-Eight software downloads page. And at the very top, there's a special notice for Windows 10 users, and you click on that. And so it tells you what we've identified, the Windows versions that we've found the problem on. And it looks like we've learned some more information about this. It looks like if you have version 1903, that's before this problem occurred. The update 1909 has definitely got the issue. There might be another version in between 1903 and 1909 that may or may not have it. We've not been able to identify that. But 1903 definitely does not have it. And the way you can find that information is you basically go to the About window. And you scroll down to Windows specifications, and it tells you the edition and the version number and the date, or I guess the build number. Those are the two numbers, the build number and the version. So that's how you can find that information out. Okay. If you have, so you're susceptible to this problem if you have 1909. Now, then on this page we talk about we created this workaround. All right. And then it has, okay, how do I know if this issue is my major connection problem? And it talks about that, what you can find is your IP address. And then it talks about what do I need to do? And this gives you a manual procedure to go and set up your Wi-Fi adapter options to set a fixed IP address, basically an alternate configuration.
Yeah, Chuck Stoss says, I'm on 1909, I don't have the issue. Could it be because my Wi-Fi on the PMC-Eight is not secured?
No, it's not that. Well, that is an issue. Do you have the Exos 2 or the iXos 100?
Yeah.
This is not a problem with the iXos 100 mount.
He has the Exos 2.
Okay, so yes. So I would say yes. We have tested that, and if you have your network set to open, then this problem would not occur. But it's interesting that you received a mount that's set up for open. We talked about this before, Scott.
Right.
It looks like some mounts being delivered in Europe or have the default configuration on the on the Wi-Fi module set to open.
Right.
So.
Brett Blake says, I have Windows 10 Home, build number ending in 508, no problems.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's something to look for. This will affect very few people, I think.
Andrew Corkill says, I have the iPad, and so no issue.
That's right. No issue.
That's true.
That's right. Exactly.
Right.
So
Yeah.
this will impact people that use the Explore Stars application on Windows.
Windows, the latest versions.
Right, the latest version of Windows.
Yeah.
Anything else, any other configuration seems to work okay.
Yeah. Chalk says he's using Windows 10 Pro. So we are, we continue to work this problem. We will figure out, a more elegant solution. I know Jerry and his team are working on, uh, you know, various, different scenarios to make that solution happen. I'm thinking that probably ultimately we will be reprogramming the Wi-Fi board, and so there may be some people that have an issue, and if you do, certainly get in touch with us in customer service, and we can help you. Yep. So,
Yep.
okay. All right. So up next, we wanted to talk about the OpenGOTO community a little bit and the new subgroup that you have.
Oh yeah, right. I'm going to share my screen once again.
Okay.
And I'll go to the forum. So over the weekend, I had some conversations. We've had people wanting to be able to discuss all their equipment on their astronomical imaging system, not just the PMC-Eight. And they want to do that. They like the community that we've developed here over the last few years. They're comfortable with discussing issues with the PMC-Eight, but now they want to be able to discuss their whole their whole setup. And we're a manufacturer's forum. We support our equipment on here. So I was very reticent to be able to allow customers to discuss other equipment because we don't support other people's equipment. We can say yes, our system works with that, and we'll show you how to configure the PMC-Eight to connect to it. But if you've got issues with that software like PhD2 or Stellarium or ASI Air or ZWO stuff or whatever it is, we don't directly support that stuff, but the customers can support each other in that realm.
That's true.
And there was a demand for people to do that. And so Wes pointed out a couple of good things to me that the reason why we might want to do this. And the main reason is we want to keep this community together. We don't want to have to kick people out to go do things when they got a wealth of information already here in the community, using not just the PMC-Eight systems, but using everything involved with getting the PMC-Eight system as part of your AIS, basically.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, that's really a good point. That's really what we need to maintain as our community. So I went and created this subgroup called PMC-Eight application. Okay, so what this is designed for is anything that you're going to use a PMC-Eight with is fair game to talk about. And it's not direct, and it doesn't even have to directly connect to the PMC-Eight. It can be part of your overall system, like I said. And I updated the terms of service. I sent an email out to everybody on this. You should have gotten it. Let me go to the main group, and I'll bring up the terms of service and show you exactly what I changed. All right. So basically, I changed rule number 8. Okay. So rule number 8, for any other subgroup and the main group, still has this restriction. You can only really discuss things that are related to PMC-Eight. Okay, that's what they're for. That's this first paragraph. This next section here talks about what you can do with the PMC-Eight application subgroup. And basically, the deal is the discussion shall not be limited to describing the how and why of the setup configuration to get the PMC-Eight system. Basically, it's not limited to just that, to talking about the PMC-Eight system. The members are invited and encouraged to discuss the integration of all the various third-party tools as necessary to get the best performance. Oops, trying to highlight this stuff. To discuss the integration of all the various third-party tools as necessary to get the best performance and experience using these products and the PMC-Eight. So the only restriction is that you shall not bash or promote any specific manufacturer or product over any other product. All right, we're not here to have a deep discussion about what a piece of crap X is compared to Y.
Right.
Yeah, we're just the facts.
Yeah,
Just the facts.
This is a mutual support kind of thing, and
right.
If you guys have whatever kind of camera and whatever kind of like the NUC here that I'm using, for example,
Right.
that would be something that would be helpful to know how to configure that to build a system like what I'm building here. So
I just realized I wasn't zoomed up very well for people to see this.
oh.
So this is the major thing about this rule, this paragraph right here. Just state the facts about the circumstance or feature of the product you're working with and how you have it configured or set up, and say, this is what I'm seeing, this is the way I have it set up, what do you guys think? Can I do better? This is a problem, I'm having this issue with it, I can't get it to do X, Y, or Z. That's about all the conversation needs to be.
Yeah. And that should be helpful. That should be,
yeah, right. So it keeps everybody in the group. There is a wealth of experience and knowledge in the group on a lot of other products besides the PMC-Eight, and I hate to break that up because you guys are excellent at helping each other on a lot of different areas. And we've already seen quite a bit of activity on this subgroup.
yeah.
Go to it. So right now you can see we've got
using ASI Air, I guess. Mm-hmm.
Yep, and then PMC-Eight via the Mac, Stellarmate, Stellarium. And let me see how many messages we have. We just started this. We've got 51 messages already in 2-3 days. That's a lot of messages.
Right.
So that's got good activity.
Excellent. Okay.
So that's where we're at with that. So I just decided after talking to Wes to just create this subgroup, and one of the things that I did do, which some people don't care for, is I put everybody that's a member of the forum on the main. I added everybody to the group, and then an email was sent out to say, just click this button and you can opt out of it. If you don't want to be a member of this group, then you can opt out.
Sure.
And a few people have opted out, not that many. But again, it just depends on your druthers. If you're not interested in talking about anything else other than PMC-Eight, then you don't have to be a member. And that's what's nice too. That in the other groups, you'll get messages that you're subscribed to that are related to the PMC-Eight directly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really the purpose of this, is to keep all that off-topic type of information away from people that just want to hear about the PMC-Eight directly.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. So up next is the 10th Global Star Party, which is going to happen tomorrow. We have many of the usual people that will be on there, including David Levy and J. Kelly Beatty, who's on, he might be on the fifth install of his 7-part series. So I think,
Yeah, I think that's true. It's a fifth
yeah.
one.
So it's been absolutely fabulous to have Kelly Beatty on with us. I know that Sky and Telescope is starting to promote the Global Star Party based off of him being there, so that's really nice. I wanted to also let you guys know that the Explore Alliance we have applied to be a Night Sky Network organization as well. So we've already got our application in, and I assume that we're going to be okay to go with that. So I had a meeting with Vivian White, who is one of the organizers of Night Sky Network, and answered a lot of questions and stuff. It is a NASA program, which is really cool, but there's protocols and things that you're supposed to be doing and not doing if you are working with NASA. And so especially when it comes to promoting things, you can't use the NASA, what they call the meatball, which is the round logo from NASA, etc. But NASA does offer incredible programs and outreach programs and all the rest of it. So I'm really excited about bringing Explore Alliance to that. Also, part of the Explore Alliance is the fact that we are relaunching Skies Up magazine, and so that's the last thing I was going to talk about today. We are accepting astrophotographs for the astrophotography gallery that will be in there. So if you're doing some astrophotography you're proud of, go ahead and go to our groups.io group, which is Explore Alliance Outreach, and join that, and you can submit to that. Now, note when you are submitting, if you're going to participate in the Explore Alliance magazine, you are becoming a de facto member. You'll be a free member of the Explore Alliance, which is our legacy membership. And so I think that's it.
From that, we need to get some information from you, right, to be able to make sure you're an official member, and there are some level of information that we require also.
Yeah, we will need to get your name, your email address, contact information. Then what will happen is one of our customer service reps will start to put that information into our membership roster, which is quickly climbing over 1,000 members right now. So you will, from time to time, we don't spam people, but we do make you aware of events and special things that we're doing with the Explore Alliance. So if we have new benefits, that kind of thing. So but that's it for today. I don't know if we have any questions from the audience here. Let's see. Dusty Haskins says, I think it's a great thing that you're doing. I don't have a PMC-8 yet, but that doesn't mean I don't read all the emails and just try to learn from others' mistakes. But I think that it will be huge to have so many people helping each other out. So that's in relation to the new subgroup. Tim Myers is getting spaghetti. That sounds really good. DIY Astro says, I shall mention how proactive and open you guys are with your live streams. When I do my unboxing vid for the XS2, it's very reassuring to see how committed you guys are to the PMC-8 and the OpenGOTO. So thank you.
Well, it's our baby, right? It's our baby. Yeah, we own it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We want you to get live, unfiltered, real support. Just like if you came to a star party or a trade show and you met us in person, So, David, did you pick the name of the magazine already? For now, we're still staying with the legacy name called Skies Up, Dave, and we're going to talk about the name of it later. We have another kind of exciting thing is that we have lots of people that are on the editorial board. They've joined the editorial board from all over the world. And so we've got scientists and astronomers, that very knowledgeable, very well known in their fields. And so we're really excited about that. And then we'll be looking for contributing editors, people that want to stay committed and do regular contributions to the magazine. We'll be looking for them too. And Brett Blake says, Scott, how do I submit? All you have to do is make a posting on the groups.io and that group is called Explore Alliance Outreach. And so put your images up there, give us, text on, your name and where you took it from and your gear setup and your exposures and all that stuff, any kind of information about the object, how many light years away it is, for example, or what fascinates you about that. That would be really cool. If you are a writer, then go ahead and submit your article with photos and, and then the editorial board will review those articles for each issue. And we're going to be coming out bi-monthly, which means every 2 months. So, and the magazine will be free. You can subscribe to it. But if you're a member, we will give you early advance notice of the magazine. And and certainly we'll be notifying you if you have been accepted into that issue, if you've submitted something. But it should be a lot of fun. And
you might want to mention that Marcelo is the editor of the magazine.
Oh, right? Yes, that's right. He is the chief editor, Marcelo Souza. Marcelo is a cosmologist. He is in Brazil, but we have part of the editorial board. We got people from Africa and Europe and literally all over the world. So I don't think anyone from Antarctica yet. So we'll have to get someone down there. But anyhow. I
wanted to make a note of your chair. That's a retro chair for sure.
Oh yeah, this one? Yeah, this is what, mid-century modern clear,
Yeah.
Eames
cool.
was the name of the husband and wife designer team back in the 60s that designed these chairs. So, but I really like them. They're cool. Hey, I'm back from the 60s, so there you go. Anyways, until tomorrow, we'll see you. We'll see you at 4, and then we're going to see you at 8 o'clock. We're going to start an hour early for the 10th Global Star Party. Terry Mann will be joining us from the Astronomical League. Of course, there will be Libby. Libby and the Stars will be there as well. So, we'll see you then. And until that time, as Jack Horkheimer always said, keep looking up, guys. So thanks very much.